Welcome back to NBA Cinema. So today we have to talk about Karl Anthony Towns, who finally got a chance to address the media after this Knicks trade has been finalized, and we got to see his first action in practice and some things coming out. But he shared some special things about looking forward to the PNR with Jalen Brunson. Also, he spoke about his relationship with Thibs, what to expect. He's already played with him, but how um, it's familiar, but it's different because it's a different situation. And also, he got emotional when thinking about his mom and how the Towns family always looked at Madison Square Garden as the Mecca of basketball. Let's dive right into it.
What was your reaction when you heard the news you were coming to New York?
Shocked. Shocked. More the word flabbergasted would be more correct, but just shocked. I mean, the first thing I did, I walked up to Jalen and I introduced myself, told him my name was Karl. I know it was a struggle for him, so I just wanted to let him know who I was and introduce myself to Cat, so it was fine.
Does it help you that you have a relationship with Thibs before? You know sort of what he expects, and does that help you sort of like acclimate here?
I think it gives us a little bit of a head start. You know, I know the offense that he runs. I know the way he likes to play defense, and I know how what he expects from his players. So I just think it gives us a little bit of a head start. It's hard to say what I learned from Thibs then, because when I was with Thibs, I learned a lot, and he helped me in my career forward. So just building great habits, staying disciplined, putting the work in, something that I think all y'all know he's all about. So just continuing to take that approach every single day.
You mentioned that you guys have stayed in contact over the years. I guess how would you describe how the relationship is, not that it was bad before, but that how it's grown since you guys haven't been together?
I think over time, you just learn a lot about each other and mature, and obviously our relationship has been good. I think that for us, we just want to win. I think none of y'all ever doubt about Thibs putting the work in and wanting to win. So our conversation is all about winning and doing the best we can do every single day.
Have you thought about that pick and roll combo with Jalen and what that might look like?
Got to put the work in every single day. But he's an incredibly talented player. I think everyone knows that. So to be able to work with him in those situations is going to be fun.
Jalen's talked about knowing guys, some of these guys, Leon, everybody, Thibs. And for you coming here when guys traded, it's tough, but knowing Thibs, knowing Leon, does that help you too?
Yeah, I mean, there's some familiarity, but obviously there's a lot of things that is not familiar. Being traded, not being in Minnesota is obviously a different situation for me. So, like I said, I'm just worrying about being the best player I could be, being the best teammate I could be, doing everything I can to amplify my teammates is what all I'm focused on right now.
Well, you always had a soft spot for the Knicks. I guess it goes back to your dad.
Yeah, I mean, I think recently I've talked about it. Just my dad, my mom immigrating over here from DR. Madison Square Garden to her was the Mecca, and to our family, it's always been the Mecca. So to be able to, in a way, be able to play in a place that that was so revered by her, obviously strikes a different emotion.
So listening to Karl Anthony Towns speak, you can see him get emotional there at the end. And kids growing up in that area, they look to play for the New York Knicks organization. If they were able to potentially get there some sort of way, it's a dream of theirs. And Karl Anthony Towns is going to have the opportunity to do that, coming up from Dominican Republic, playing in the New Jersey area, so he's going to be able to see his family on a regular basis. That's another factor, but also play on the biggest stage, and I think what Cat adds basketball-wise, the matchups I love to look at, obviously Kristaps Porzingis is the one everyone is talking about because they just won it, and the way Porzingis dominated those games early on both ends, the first couple games. But that's a matchup definitely that he makes difficult for them too. But if you look at the way Miles Turner was able to step out on the picks with Tyrese Halliburton, now Cat can do that, and Miles Turner and those guys can't just load up on Brunson because, Mitchell Robinson's out there, or, someone that they'll live with shooting the three, or Hartenstein, and Hartenstein was making those floaters in the paint. But what I'm saying is Karl Anthony Towns can make them pay and really open up the floor. You can't help on Brunson as he gets in the teeth of the defense. You're going to leave Cat wide open beyond the arc. And if you close out too hard, Cat can put it on the floor as a 7-footer and take it to the rim and finish, so Cat adds a new dimension for that matchup. I'm also looking at, the Joel Embiid matchup. I saw Stephen A. Smith and Perk going back and forth about it today. I think people underrate the way Mitchell Robinson defended Joel Embiid and got some critical stops last year. Yeah, Embiid had that game where he was hot from three, where he took all those threes. And yeah, Stephen A. says he's on one leg. But he's always on one leg. And they're going to load manage him this year too. He's never going to be healthy again. That's not how his body's made. So I don't know why people are saying that about him. If he's healthy, if we have no evidence to support that. And even, when he was doing a little bit better physically, he had some terrible postseasons. He didn't show up in certain games. He didn't show up in some of those games against Atlanta, a few years back. So, we have to look at that too. Like sometimes he just didn't perform, and that's a part of his playoff resume as well. But Cat, the way Joel Embiid can step out there, Cat can have that type of performance from beyond the arc too. And Cat, has post moves, and I think people underrate him and they call him soft. I think Cat's a finesse player. Is he the most physical player in the world? Absolutely not. But I don't think he's a soft player. I think Cat, he showed a lot last year in the playoffs. I think, sometimes he may settle and it'll make it look softer. I think his settling is what gives off the impression that he's soft. But I think Cat, really can eat down low. You could see him, he go over either shoulder with either hand sometimes. He has some decent moves, man. And I think also the boogie mean kind of contributes to that. But no, I don't think Cat's soft, man. I think Cat is going to prove a lot of people wrong. It's almost like he's a little underrated, from what I've been hearing lately about him. That people are starting to underrate Cat just a little bit. But I don't think he has to exclusively play the five. I think when you have those matchups with those stronger fives, that's where Mitchell Robinson comes into play. Now, I heard the name Robert Williams thrown around a few weeks ago, and he would be super ideal, but, I don't know if they can get that done. I also heard Trey Murphy's name come up. They're going to need another five, so I don't know how that gets done, but also at the same time, if you could get Trey Murphy, you gotta work that too, so. Yeah, man, just wanted to check in and talk about Cat a little bit. Let me know what you think, Knicks fans. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.